Hi everybody, welcome back to Greg's Grooves. I'm here with some more common sense record collecting advice. Today I'm going to be talking about how to create your own record cleaning solution and my method for cleaning those grimy thrift store finds. I like to keep it cheap, I like to keep it simple, but I promise you that this is effective. So those of you who are just getting into the world of vinyl and can't invest in things like a vacuum record cleaner or ultrasonic cleaner, don't worry, I got you covered. Okay, so to create our homemade record cleaning solution, there's only a couple things that you absolutely need and then a couple things that I recommend. So the first thing you need is nice clean water. I recommend just spending $1 or $2 getting some distilled water from the pharmacy or the supermarket. All right, you're not going to need this much, but it's good to have. The next thing you'll need is isopropyl alcohol. I'm using this 91%. I don't think it matters if you use 70%. You'll just have to change your ratios a little bit. I like to use a couple drops of dishwashing liquid. I don't think the brand matters. I don't know if I'm supposed to hide the brand, but any dishwashing liquid will do. And then I really like this condiment squeeze bottle to help me pour the stuff on the record. And a couple of microfiber towels. I like the big pack from Costco. If you're living in the United States, I use it for everything. Clean the house, clean the car, clean the records. So we'll get to the actual record cleaning process in a second, and I'll bring you in here so you can see it. But let's mix up our magic potion here. Some people are going to tell you got to measure down to the milliliter. It's not that complicated. I'm sure if you're using equipment that's much more high-end than I am, not that I'm using, a Crosley turntable or anything, yeah, then maybe it matters. But for our purposes, if you're one of those people like me finding those thrift store records that need a good cleaning, this is definitely going to do the trick. So essentially, we're doing 4-ish parts water to 1 part isopropyl alcohol and a couple drops of dishwashing liquid. That's it. So it doesn't really matter how you start it. I find it's easier to eyeball the alcohol, so we're going to fill that, about 1/4 of the way up the bottle. Since this is a little more expensive than the water, I probably tend to go a little lighter on it. I've heard you can go up to 50% isopropyl alcohol. We're going to add our distilled water up to the top. And then we add a couple drops, just 1 or 2 of our dishwashing liquid. All right, this is important because it acts as a surfactant and it's going to help the water penetrate the grooves. The isopropyl alcohol is there to aid in evaporation, making sure that you're not playing wet records. And folks, for most of us, this is all we need for nice clean records. I know I'm going to get flack in the comments from audiophiles. I'm not aiming this at you guys. I get it. But for the average collector, the young collector, the person with not much money in their pocket, this is definitely going to do the trick. So let's bring you in here and I'll show you my process. All right, folks, so I got this filthy copy of the Shangri-Las, that leader of the pack that I bought at the thrift store the other day. Let me get you in on the actual vinyl. You can see the condition leaves a little something to be desired, I think. So the first thing I like to do is lay down nice clean microfiber. All right, and this is going to get dirty. This is a little bit sacrificial. and we're going to lay our record down on there. All right. Now we're going to take our homemade cleaning solution, and we're just going to give this a good flooding. All right. You can go pretty heavy on it. You don't need to save too much. Now we get a second clean microfiber. We're just going to spread that solution around. There's enough alcohol on the solution that if you get some on the label, it's not going to destroy the label. Just don't flood the label. All right. And now we're going to put a little elbow grease in and start going with the grooves and just wiping around. Come to a fresh part of the microfiber. Keep coming around. All right, we're still picking up a little bit of dirt. We can keep coming around. And you can do this a couple times if you feel like that didn't quite get the grime. A little more of the liquid, a little more elbow grease. All right. Can go the other direction to kind of lift up the dirt. And again, we're not going for an audiophile, no contact, ultrasonic cleaning method here. We're just trying to get a grimy, old, beat up record into a more playable condition. And let me tell you, cleaning with this method, I haven't had any problems with playability. I don't worry about my stylus, which isn't exactly a cheap stylus. It ends up being just fine. So obviously, repeat that process for the other side of the album. And then when I'm done, this is optional, but I like to get one of these dish holders so I can let the record air dry. And if I really have some money to splurge, get some new sleeves. Highly recommend them. Once your album's nice and clean, throw it in the sleeve and you're good to go. Nice and clean and dry, I should say. So that's my method for record cleaning. I think it's quick, cheap, and good for the beginner. So let me know what you think. See you next time on Greg's Grooves.